If you're a heating air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what are some questions that you should be asking in a job interview, and why does this matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day talking about sales and a perfect day talking about you. Now, here's the thing. When you go in for a job interview, it's a two-way street, and there's questions that you could ask to gain some insight and some information about the company that you could be working for. So, you can ask the manager, you can ask the business owner some very standard questions, and I'm going to give you seven questions that you could ask. And you can modify them, you can adapt them, but I want you to remember something: polite and calm. Because sometimes people go on interviews, they don't know what to do. You could type these questions out, you could take them with you. So number one, can you share with me what your business beliefs are? You can get a feel for the type of owner, the type of manager that you're going to be working for, because that's the person that you're going to be working underneath, for the most part. Number two, why should I work here if I have other options? Very polite. Very polite. Not aggressive, not I've got so much great stuff to do. Very polite, why, given all the options that I have in this area, why should I choose your location? You can modify it and you can adapt it. And this is why you should join HVAC Tech Secrets. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Number three, what's important to you about service and quality? Right? Service and quality is important to me, and it always has been. There's companies that'll say, hey, will you come work with my technicians? And I look at their reviews and talk to the owners about business, and I'm like, I don't want to work. Not going to do it. And you know what? You're interviewing. It's a place where you're going to work. You're going to spend at least 8 hours a day there. You're going to spend something like 40 to 60 hours a week. In the summertime, it might be 70 hours a week. Number four, under what circumstances do people leave your company? What's the most common reason? This may be a hot seat question, but hey, I'm kind of curious. If you were sitting across the table from me, this is how I would ask it. Hey, I'm kind of curious. It seems like there's a vacancy here for this position. Under what circumstances do people commonly leave? It's a good question. And then you should be taking notes. Type these questions out and take notes. Number five, when's the last time somebody in this position was able to get an advancement? What are the opportunities once I start here? Okay. You're seeing if there's somewhere else to go. If it's hey, we're going to hold you here forever, maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe not. I don't know. Number six. What would you say my best day would look like? What would you say my best day would look like? Because then you're able to set some expectations. I want you to close every single deal that you go on. I want you to get every single maintenance. I want you to get every single penny that you can out of a piece of equipment. I don't know. That wouldn't appeal to me. It might appeal to some people. My goals aren't your goals, and that's something important to notice. And then we got number seven. What would my worst day look like? You've given the manager, the business owner, the opportunity to explain to you what the worst thing that can happen. Hey, Scott, you would have to drive to this part of town to that part of town. You would have to deal with Mrs. Jones, who's really difficult. You would have to deal with a dispatcher who's having a bad day. At least it shows that you're thinking through what's going on. And let's just say for bonus question number 8, bonus question number 8, you can ask, if you want the job, when can I start? Right? It shows some initiative. Now, you may not know this. At one point, I interviewed a ton of technicians. If they were going to work for the company that I was a trainer at, eventually they got to me and I would interview them. And the best people were the ones that were proactive, brought questions and had questions that they want to answer. And then they would show some initiative and say okay, great, when do I start? And sometimes I would push back and I would say, hey, we haven't decided who we're going to choose yet. We're still got a couple more interviews to go. Proactively, the best people would say, great. So do you happen to know when you're going to be making that decision? And I might say, today's Monday, and then they'd go, great, well, we're going to know by Thursday. So the most proactive people would go, fantastic. So should I call you at 1 o'clock on Thursday? Does that give you enough time to make your decision? And I might answer back, we might be making a decision sooner. Well, great. Still go for that appointment to say, hey, I would love to work here. Not super aggressive, but to the point of saying, look, I want this job. I have no problem asking for it. This is a place where I see a lot of people screw up on interviews is they don't ask for the business. There you go. There's seven things that you need to know for questions that you need to ask about the company for you to go hire for a job. Now, for you, you've got one of two things to do from here. Find the subscribe or the follow button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says HVAC Technician Sales Secrets sent another fantastic video. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon.